Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing another oil painting. I know oil painting videos get the least amount of views on my channel, but I like them, so I'm going to keep making them anyway. And this time I'm going to be talking about a bunch of mistakes I've made during this painting. The first mistake I made in making this video is that I forgot to hit record on my phone. So the background in black acrylic paint is already laid down. I've been doing that so often lately. Not too long ago, I recorded for 2 hours, then found out I never pressed the start button. I went to bed really sad that night, and that was actually for my Belfie drawing, so I ended up just posting the time lapse to YouTube Shorts. Anyway, let's start on the painting mistakes. The first one was made before I even started, and it's the reference photo. This screenshot was taken from one of Hyunjin's live streams, and I just really wanted to paint it. If you get advice from any painter or artist in general, they will tell you to choose a good reference photo, a nice high quality photo with clear and balanced highlights and shadows. I even tell people that, but I didn't do it this time. This one isn't too bad, but I definitely should have chosen better. The decision was made, and I even sketched it a few times in my sketchbook to warm up before transferring it to what I'll be painting on. Which brings me to my next mistake. The painting is too small. I don't usually paint small, and it was a bad idea for me to do so, knowing that I'm currently trying to get back into painting on a regular basis. This is cold pressed watercolor paper that I cut down to 4x6 inches. Some of the prints I make are 4x6, and I thought it would be cool to make a painting that size. It isn't impossible for me to paint this small, obviously, but I have very shaky and unsteady hands, so adding little details was difficult. I've painted small faces plenty of times, but I just feel like I shouldn't have tried painting a small face when I'm trying to get used to oil painting again. Being able to have more movement and range with me moving my hands would have helped out a lot. The second reason I chose this size is because I thought I could finish faster if it was smaller. And that's another issue I have. I'm not counting this as a mistake for this video, but I try to rush through everything. I want to finish something as quickly as possible so I can move on to the next project. And that's also kept me from trying new things. There's projects that I want to take on, but I tell myself, no, that's going to take too long, so just wait till you feel like you can do it faster. But that doesn't make any sense, because how can I learn to do something faster if I won't even try to begin with? I'm trying to avoid wasting time, but I'm wasting time by waiting instead of just doing the thing. But painting small did not save me time at all, because this painting still took around 5.5 hours altogether. And I feel like it would have been the same if I would have just made it a bit bigger. Okay, next mistake. And this one is that I didn't prep the watercolor paper at all. Even when I paint on regular canvas, I usually put at least 2 to 3 coats of gesso before I start painting on it. And I didn't do any for this one. All I did was glue a sheet of 4x6 photo paper to the back of it to give it more stability. I really wish I prepped it, because as I was painting, every bit of oil from the paint got absorbed by the paper, which left the remaining pigment to be dry, crusty, dull, and not easy to blend with. I was being lazy, impatient, and I didn't want to risk the paper buckling from being wet with gesso. For those of you who might not know, paper buckling is when you get paper wet and it starts to get wavy, like it dries wrinkled and kind of crinkly. It looks like when you soak your fingers too long in water and they get pruny, but the paper dries that way and it's hard to draw or paint on. I should have just taped it down really good and did at least one coat of gesso. And gesso is just a paint primer. You put it on whatever you're painting on, and it makes it easier to paint. It makes the surface smoother and attach to the paint very well. This isn't the first time I painted on watercolor paper without prepping it first, and the results were the same, but I just refused to learn from my mistakes. Well, that's pretty much it for all the big mistakes I feel I've made during this painting. Except for like one thing. This is a bonus mistake. For most of this painting, I wasn't even listening to Stray Kids, and that was a huge mishap on my part. I recently started getting into 17, so I was listening to them most of the time, but towards the end, I did switch over to Stray Kids, and the painting started to go better. Coincidence? I don't think so. I plan on doing some 17 fan art soon, and when I do, I'll be listening to them the entire time. Even though I'm kind of already doing that right now. But I'll talk about that when I make their video. You know what I noticed? Just all of the real mistakes I've listed could have been avoided before I even started. Choosing the photo, picking the size, and prepping the paper. I'm not saying the rest of the painting went extremely smoothly with no other issues on my part, but those things were the main obstacles I created for myself. There were so many moments where I almost gave up doing this painting. I didn't want to because of all the time I already spent on it. I would have considered all that time wasted. And I also gave up on the last painting I tried to record. And I didn't want to do that again, so I just pushed through, and I'm glad I did. I had to keep talking myself out of just restarting it. And even though I probably would have had an easier time if I just restarted and did everything the right way from the beginning, I'm happy I just went ahead and finished this one to the best of my ability. And I am happy with it. I'm happy with how it turned out. There's a lot of things that I know I need to improve on, but I'm never going to improve on it if I don't work on it. I might be doing an art show soon, so I've just been trying to make time to do more oil painting because I need a lot more practice. I feel like I'm so rusty when it comes to it, and I don't have any like recent paintings to show at an art show right now, so I need to work on that, and I need to stop painting only Stray Kids members, but I can't help it right now. But this is all for this painting, and this is just a 4x6 that I printed out just to have next to it. I followed the colors that are on my iPad and not the photo, and that's why they're so different. And I took this video a few days later after it's completely dry, and I thought you'd be able to see the colors a lot better out here, and I guess you kind of can, but I'm really happy with this painting. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll come back for the next one. Bye!